Alright, Form 4 students, are you going to have Amali exam soon? No worries guys, I got you back. Today we are going to do some paper 3. I'm going to teach you the tips to score well in your paper 3. Alright, so let's look at the osmosis experiments here. Make it as an example. A very important step to start with is going to be reading the topics here. Okay, we want to find out what is the purpose of this experiment. You see, the questions ask you to carry out an experiment to investigate the effect of different water potential in solutions on the diffusions of the water across the south of a chili. The thing is, you need to go and recognize which one is the MV and which one is the RV. Here, you see, effect of different water potential in the solution. Different means when you see a difference here, it means MV. This is going to be our manipulated variable. On diffusion of water across the south of Chile, diffusions of the water across the south of Chile, this one is going to be our RV. So once you know MV and RV, the rest of the question here will be very easy for you guys to do it. Now, this is what are we going to do? We're going to cut the chili here, and then put them into 3 different kind of solution. So we are having solutions X, solution Y, and solution Z. In this case, we are going to put the chili into 3 different kind of solution, and these 3 solutions are going to have different kind of concentrations. So let's just say this is X, this is Y, this is Z. All right. So in this case, we want to see what is the observation that can be made. So the first question already said, okay, you need to draw your observation on the appearance of 3 different kind of chili after being immersed of the solution. So now I'm going to give you guys the answer. In this case, you are going to see this kind of appearance after the experiments. The question says, state the inference of your observation in A. So what is the meaning of inference? Inference means explain your observation. You need to explain why the observation is like this. Why is this happening? Now, when it comes to this kind of question, you have few points to write. First, you need to write down the observation. What is the things that you can see in the experiment? Secondly, you need to go and find out what is going to be the explanations. You need to explain why is this happening. So let's take one as an example. You see, we are having the Y solutions here, and you can see obviously this is the epidermis, and water keep on rushing in, so it curves like outwards. We need to explain in solutions why the chili curve outwards. Secondly, you need to explain why the chili curve outwards. Now in this case, it is because we put them into the water or solution that is hypotonic. You try to imagine, let's say this is going to be the hypotonic solution. Water will keep on rushing into the south, and so the chili is going to curve outwards in this case, right? So you need to explain because solution Y is hypotonic to the chili, so water diffuse into the tissue of the chili by osmosis. So this is how you can do the inference questions. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Now, next question is, state how 3 variables can be handled in this experiment. Handle means you need to do something to the manipulated variables, corresponding variables, or constant variables. And we do have the keywords or special words to use in different variable. For example, like if you want to control the manipulated variable, means you are going to change some of the factors inside the experiment, right? So in this case, we always use action words called use different. It depends on what kind of difference you are going to use. It depends on the experiment you are going to do. For example, in this case, you use different types of solutions, right? So you can say types of solution. You use different types of solution. You want to handle the responding variable. Now, responding variable in this case is how the chili curve. It curves inwards or it curves outwards. So how are you going to take the responding variable, right? What we need to do is we just use our eye to see. We observe. Observe is the action words here, the appearance of chili. Sometimes we use our eyes to observe. Sometimes we use things like thermometer to measure. So in this case, we will say measure the temperature of the solution, something like that. All right. So this is going to be our action words. Now, next, method of handling the constant variable. The constant variables we are having here is we use the same types of chili, correct or not? So you can say, first, use the action word fix. Fix is something that we want to make it constant. So fix the type of chili. Then this is going to be our constant variable. All right, guys, not yet end. Now, this is the action word that we need to put it in when we come to handling the responding variable and manipulated variable. But please remember that when we are handling the variables, we need to give example or you need to know the tools that you're using as well. For example, like use different types of solutions. What kind of solution you are using? So in this experiment, we're using which are solutions X, Y, Z. All right. Then responding variable. How are we going to observe the appearance of a chili? So you try to imagine when you're doing the experiment, the chili might not facing to you and it's very hard for you to observe. So in this case, you can say by using forceps. By using a forceps to flip the chili so that you can observe it nicely.